Hello there, my name is Sam Pagan, and today we're going to be discussing how to deal with critical feedback. Now, this question comes from a student of mine, and the context is the following. Hey there, Sam. I just had a portfolio review with a very well known artist. The feedback was great, but it brought me down. It made me realize I need to put more work than I thought. My question to you is, how do you deal with critical feedback? Now, if this is a very advanced players do critique in very advanced standards. So it is totally normal that they'll have a whole list of things that you could improve on. But that's totally fine. It's totally normal. And that's good for you. Now, why does it feel uncomfortable? Why does it feel uncomfortable that someone is reflecting everything that you lack? Oh, you lack anatomy here. Oh, like you're having tangents here. Composition is terrible. What is the meaning of this? Is there even storytelling? What are you trying to convey? The weight distribution in the character doesn't make sense. Perspective is off, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it can definitely be overwhelming that somebody dictates all your faults, but the way I approach it is the 10% rule. The 10% rule indicates that if you receive a bunch of information, a bunch of new information, you should focus on 10% of it. If you focus, let's say, of all the things that I mentioned, let's say, oh, okay, well, he said anatomy and weight distribution. So let me take those two and practice, let's say, this week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks and get as much information about anatomy or weight distribution and see how I can get better at that. I think that's a better approach than trying to tackle everything at once. Remember that these advanced players got to where they at because they spent years working on these departments, on these skills. So the thing is, they're saying it in a very small time frame, which is your portfolio review, and it's super overwhelming. This 10% rule came to me because I was having the same issue, but not in art or digital art or 3D art. It happened to me at dancing. And here goes the story. So I've been dancing for almost 2 years. Now in October 2023, I'm gonna have 2 years of dancing experience. And right now I am dancing with advanced players, advanced dancers. And these people have around 5 to 10 years. They've been dancing all their life, since they were 4, since they were 8, and their choreography skills and their memory is amazing. When I get to the sessions, I see that the teacher explains the new choreography, and in 10 seconds, they already have it. For me, it takes a whole 1 hour session to just catch up. So it's very overwhelming to see that in 10 minutes, 20 girls have the choreography down, and I'm still in the first 5 steps. And of course, everybody is watching me. Opposite to, digital art where you can be in your room drawing and stuff like that. No, this is pure live performance. We're seeing Sam over there struggling. Oh my God, he sucks. But I remember trying to capture all the choreography in 1 hour session, and because I was focused on trying to get everything, basically I wasn't getting anything. Trying to understand the whole thing, at the end I end up frustrated, didn't learn anything, and it was a very sour experience. So that's how I concluded. What if I just focus on the 10%? Now, it is true. I do look a little bit weird when I am in the corner practicing only 5 steps while all the girls are paying attention to the teacher. They're on top of their game, and I'm there only with the intro of the choreography. It might be shameful. It might feel uncomfortable at first. It still feels uncomfortable, but I understand that in the macro, I need to focus on the 10% because then I won't be able to grab anything. The best way I can say it is I'd rather have 10% than 0% and frustration. So that has been my experience, and I think that this lesson can be applied to art. If you are given a bunch of things to get better on, just focus on 10% and practice that until you get tired. The other analogy I have for this is the plant analogy. I have many friends, including my mom, that she takes care of plants. She's a fan of plants. I don't know if you have a friend like that, but my mom collects a lot of plants, and they're always mastering how much water should they distribute to their plants. If they pour a lot of water, depending on the plant, right? They die, and if they don't put anything, they dry up. They die too. So it's always a frustration for somebody who's taking care of plants how much water should be distributed. And even if they do their best, it dies. Same thing for us. Like we have a limit of how much information can we get. That is the water, right? The water analogy. We get a certain amount and we can digest, we can get the nutrients, we can get what we need of that water, but it has to be proportionate to our capacities. So, of course, we all have different capacities and we're all in different levels, but you should focus on your capacities. I know that when I receive a lot of information, I just focus on the 10%. I don't know how that works for you, but I knew that if I know for a fact that if I receive a lot of information and I am overwhelmed, all I need to think about is the 10%. Everything else is practice and time. Digest it slowly. I also believe that digesting information slowly and practicing it on your own, on your free time, it sinks better. It sinks better to your psyche, it sinks better to the back of your brain, and you could pull out, a very good skill depending on that. Anatomy itself is a very complicated subject. Posing alone is a complicated subject. Composition can just be a whole workshop of 3 months and you still won't be scratching the surface. That's all you gotta go. You gotta go for. So these subjects are very, very complicated. And of course, someone who's top level leader in the arts industry, they have already overcome it. So they're speaking in another language. So they don't understand the level that you're at. And that's why you have to filter that information. So if you feel uncomfortable, it's totally normal. And that's how I would deal with that situation. Lastly, I will encourage you to see it positively because the knowledge that you're receiving from a professional is very different from the experience, from the knowledge that you can receive in an Instagram post or someone in Facebook or your friends or your family. Remember that this person already has achieved what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve, getting into a studio, they already know the steps. So they're more truthful to what you need. So give it time, give it patience that they're giving you a lot of information, but it's the right information. So don't take it personally. If you feel very strong emotions, just think about what I said today. And I hope this really helps you.